This is section 7.5 on the tangent ratio. We're going to look at what happens when there's a variable in the denominator. We have a right triangle. We have an acute angle. We know the length of one leg. We want the length of another leg. That's how we know we're going to use tangent. And we're going to use tangent of the 44-degree angle that's given. Tangent, remember, is the opposite leg divided by the adjacent leg. So in this particular case, the tangent of 44 must be equal to 17 divided by whatever W is. We want to find W. Now, when this happens, you're going to switch this tangent of 44 with this W. So W is going to equal 17 divided by the tangent of 44. So you just make this switch with these two guys. Okay, so that's what we're going to call this. We're just going to switch it. Now, really, if you remember last time when the variable was up top, we multiplied. Well, when the variable's down below, what you're really doing is dividing. You're dividing the two numbers that you have. 17 would go first. 17 divided by the other number. Okay, so if that helps you, you can divide as well. That's actually the operation that you're using. Now, let's think about what the answer is going to be before we actually get it. This is smaller than 45, so this is the smaller leg. This leg must be bigger than 17. Not going to be a lot bigger, because notice how this is really close to 45. Okay, so this should be a little bit bigger than 17. Let's type it in. 17 divided by tangent 44. And that gives me 17.60. Make sure you're typing this into the calculator if you have it. If you're using your phone, make sure you get used to how the phone needs to be used to get this answer. You might have to type in 17 divided by 44 tan, something like that. I'm happy with this answer. It's bigger than 17 and it's really close to 17, which I knew it had to be. Okay, let's look at this one. We have a right triangle. We know an acute angle. They give us a leg and we want to find a leg. That's why we're using tangent. So tangent of our acute angle equals the length of the opposite leg divided by the length of the adjacent leg. The variable is at the bottom. So we're going to switch these two things and divide. So our value is going to be 6 divided by tangent 34. Let's think about what this thing has to be. This is smaller than 45. So this is the shorter leg. This is the longer leg. I better get an answer bigger than 6. And since this is, a good bit smaller than 45, this is going to be a good bit bigger than 6. 6 divided by tangent 34. That gives me 8.90. Okay, now I want to point something out to you. I'm going to type something in my calculator. I'll use a different color here. What is 17 times the tangent of 46? You might wonder where I came up with that. Let's type that in, 17 tan 46. It's going to give me the same 17.60. Where did this come from, though? And how did I know it that fast? Well, if this is 44 degrees, wouldn't that make that 46 degrees? And if I'm going to use this angle instead, now that variable is in my numerator. So I can do 17 tan 46 and get the same answer. Same thing over here. This guy's 56. So what's 6 times tangent 56? It's the same 8.9. There's nothing that says you have to use the angle that they give you. If they give you an acute angle, you obviously know the other acute angle. And you obviously know that the fraction is the reciprocal of the one that you did using the angle that they gave you. Okay, if you don't like this whole division concept, you could make it a multiplication problem every single time. Just make sure you choose the correct acute angle.